What do you see on this slide? I believe all of you know this. Yes, Little Red Riding Hood. How many of you heard the story of Little Red Riding Hood? I assume all of you. Yes or yes? I also assume that you have heard stories like Cinderella, Ali Baba and 40 Thieves, Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. We all heard those stories when we were kids. Our parents, our teachers shared all these stories, told all these stories to us. My question, why our teachers, why our parents told these stories when we were kids? Any ideas? Anyone? Yes, these stories have lessons embedded within them. So my next question, why our parents, why our teachers did not share those lessons just as is, directly? Like, honesty is the best policy, don't bribe, don't do this. Why they didn't just share those lessons to us? I assume you will agree that when you share these lessons as stories, they become memorable. They become long-lasting. Yes or yes? Yes. So stories are memorable. Stories are long-lasting. And I'll share again a personal example here. I consider my father as my mentor. He helped a lot in my grooming throughout my life. Whenever I used to make mistakes, whenever I used to fail, whenever I was gaining some success, he used to coach me by sharing stories, by sharing poems, by sharing riddles, by sharing things hidden inside his style of coaching. The end result or the outcome was that even after 30, 40 years, those lessons stuck here. I still remember all those riddles, all those poems, all those stories that he has shared with me in his own way of coaching. If that is the case, then why stories cannot be used in formal businesses? In fact, I have to tell you that our customers would love to hear these stories. They would love to understand if we have helped customers like them in the past. They would also like to understand if similar problem was faced by someone else and how we helped and guided and solved that problem with that customer. Our customers love to hear these stories, and it's important that we use strategic storytelling also in business presentations. Many of you might think that we already use stories during sales presentations. Typically, we have a slide with a lot of logos, a lot of references. However, I have to admit that's not storytelling. Every vendor has a slide with a lot of logos and a lot of references. And when you just present that slide, it is like doing what everyone does. And if I do what everyone does, it becomes normal. And normal is boring. Yes. What I suggest is, what my tip is, that take one of those logos, take one of those customers as an example and share a personalized story. Share where was the customer, what was the pain the customer was facing, how you got involved, how you helped and guided the customer in addressing that pain and providing a value to the customer in the end. In fact, I also suggest that use a contrast in your story. Depict a world, a painful world, a worst place, a miserable world where the customer was living before, where there was the problem, where there was the pain. Show the journey, how you transform that customer and ultimately make that place a better place to work, a better place to live, and everything become green and sunny again. So show that contrast. Why I'm focusing on the contrast? Because a story and a contrast both appeal to the emotional old brain. And remember what we learned in the episode 1 last week? We have to become appealing to the emotional old brain of the buyer. So using stories together with the contrast helps you doing that, because both are appealing to the human old brain, and this is what we need to do to become ourselves, to become memorable for our buyers.